We are told from a young age that humans are inherently social creatures. The prevailing narrative dictates that a crowded room is the ultimate metric of joy. But you do not fear the crowd in the way they think you do. I do not fear the crowd. I fear the terrifying loss of my own thoughts when surrounded by the noise of 1,000 strangers. Have you ever walked into a packed room, squeezed into a crowded subway car, or found yourself trapped in a massive checkout line and felt an immediate, overwhelming urge to escape? Your chest tightens. Your breath gets shallow. You feel an intense need to protect your personal space. Welcome to Deep Psyche Decode. Today, we are diving into the dark psychology of people who absolutely hate crowded places. Is it just introversion, social anxiety, or a psychological condition known as agoraphobia? Let us uncover the hidden neuroscience behind your panic and find out what your brain is truly trying to protect you from. If you have noticed that your tolerance for packed environments has plummeted over the last few years, you are entirely normal. We are living in a unique cultural moment. Following the relentless exhaustion of modern hustle culture, the concept of protecting your peace has taken center stage. A crowded room used to be seen as the ultimate sign of a good time. Now, for many of us, it is just a sensory nightmare. But to understand why you secretly despise the shoulder-to-shoulder chaos of places, like a busy Walmart on a Sunday afternoon, we have to look deep into the evolutionary wiring of your brain. According to the American Psychological Association, the fear you feel in a dense crowd is deeply rooted in a primitive survival mechanism. Deep inside your brain lies the amygdala, your personal alarm system. For the average person, navigating a busy city street is just another day. But for someone with a high sensitivity to crowds, the amygdala processes the presence of hundreds of unpredictable people within a 10-foot radius as an immediate survival threat. Your brain looks at the mob and literally translates it as being surrounded by predators. This triggers a massive fight or flight response. The physical reaction to this psychological trigger causes your heart rate to spike so dramatically your body reacts as if you were running a 6-minute mile. Your muscles tense, cortisol floods your system, and you enter a state of hypervigilance. You are not just annoyed by the lack of personal space. Your biology is screaming at you to survive. In my analysis of human behavioral patterns, I have found that society criminally misunderstands this biological response. We are quick to label someone as antisocial when, in reality, their nervous system is performing exactly as evolution intended. I honestly believe that pathologizing a natural survival instinct is a massive disservice to introverted individuals. Your brain is not malfunctioning. It is calculating threat vectors with a precision that the modern, artificially lit world simply cannot accommodate. But we need to make a crucial distinction between highly introverted traits and clinical conditions. The National Institute of Mental Health estimates that 1.3% of United States adults experience severe agoraphobia at some point in their lives. The Mayo Clinic notes that agoraphobia often involves a terrifying fear of situations where escape might be difficult or embarrassing. It is the panic of being trapped in enclosed spaces, like a crowded local coffee shop, or standing helplessly in massive lines. However, just hating crowds does not automatically mean you have agoraphobia. You might actually be experiencing Enochlophobia, which is the specific, intense fear of crowds themselves, rather than the fear of not being able to escape. Yet, for a massive portion of the population, the aversion to crowds is not a phobia at all. In fact, hating crowds might just mean you possess a highly evolved neurological trait. Let us talk about the highly sensitive person. According to research highlighted in Psychology Today, nearly 20% of the population has a nervous system that processes sensory inputs much more deeply than the average individual. If you are a highly sensitive person, your brain does not just see a crowd, it feels the crowd. You are picking up on the shifting body language, the overlapping conversations, and the harsh artificial lighting of a packed shopping mall all at exactly the same time. You feel the energy within a 50-foot radius, and frankly, it is utterly exhausting. You are not broken. Your brain is simply functioning like a supercomputer that has too many tabs open at once. When the sensory overload hits, your system crashes, leading to rapid social battery depletion. I have found that this is where the default mode network of the brain comes into play. This network is responsible for your internal monologue and deep, reflective thoughts. When you are thrust into a chaotic crowd, the external noise violently interrupts this internal network. I honestly believe this is the true source of your anxiety. It is not just the physical proximity of strangers. It is the aggressive theft of your internal peace. A crowded room is the loneliest place in the world for a mind that craves deep connection. When your physical boundaries are repeatedly crossed in a tightly packed environment, it physically drains your dopamine reserves. You might find yourself retreating to the bathroom just to stare at a blank wall and catch your breath. This is your nervous system begging for a moment to recalibrate. The modern world is louder, faster, and more invasive than ever before. Social media constantly demands our attention, and physical spaces are engineered to maximize capacity, not comfort. When you combine this environmental chaos with a naturally introverted or sensitive temperament, wanting to retreat into an empty, quiet room is not a sign of weakness. It is a highly intelligent strategy for mental preservation. In my analysis, the people who constantly seek out crowds are often running from their own thoughts, using the noise of the masses to drown out their internal silence. But you do the exact opposite. You retreat to find yourself. So, how do you navigate a society that constantly forces you into the chaos? The first step is dropping the guilt. Stop letting society label you as fragile just because you prefer the quiet. Recognize that your intense hatred of crowded places is largely a protective mechanism. We must redefine this isolation. You are not isolating, you are finding sanctuary. If you start feeling the familiar panic rising in a packed space, remind yourself that it is just your amygdala trying to keep you safe. Honor your physical limits. If a crowded event feels like too much, it is perfectly okay to leave early or just say no. Your energy is a finite resource. In a world that constantly tells you to be more outgoing, choosing to protect your peace is an act of rebellion. You are allowed to hate crowds. You are allowed to find comfort in solitude. The next time someone makes you feel bad for wanting to avoid a packed room, remember the science. Your brain is perfectly designed to protect you. If this video helped you understand yourself a little better, please hit that subscribe button, give us a like, and share your own experiences with crowded places down in the comments below. Stay curious, protect your personal space, and we will see you in the next video right here on Deep Psyche Decode.